And we start this broadcast with some latest news coming in from Pakistan. 5 security personnel have been killed in the country as scores of protesters have jailed. Former Prime Minister Imran Khan supporters continue their march towards Islamabad's D-Chowk, seeking his release. And this has prompted the government to invoke Article 245. Now, this article empowers the government to call in the army troops to help the civil administration in maintaining peace in case of external aggression or threat of war. The army has been authorized to shoot on sight. The protest march, led by Imran Khan's wife Bushra Bibi, began on Sunday and reached Islamabad by Monday evening. On Tuesday, when the march to D-Chowk resumed, police and paramilitary forces fired tear gas shells at the protesters. The PTI shared multiple videos and images from the scene, and the party also claimed that the government is showering chemicals on protesters from planes.
ऐसी पाकिस्तान तरीके से पाकिस्तान की सबसे बड़ी सियासी पार्टी है और उनका लीडर कैद में है वो अमन तरीके से यहाँ से गैस के शॉट तो नहीं है जी यहाँ से गैस के शॉट.
Meanwhile, Bushra Bibi appealed to the supporters to stay peaceful, underlining that after they reach D-Chowk, they will be informed about the next strategy. Khan has been in jail for more than a year and faces more than 150 cases related to his time as Pakistan's Prime Minister. The cases range from corruption to inciting violence and misuse of power. Meanwhile, in view of the situation, all educational facilities have been shut down in Islamabad, the capital. A ban has been imposed on the gathering of 5 or more people in the capital. Also, mobile phone services have been suspended in a few areas.
At the D-Chowk, where what you see behind me are more reinforcements of police that are coming in. If my camera person can show you as well, the water cannon has been moved. More reinforcements of the Islamabad police, of the Sindh police that are the reservists. There is some media. The media vans have in fact also been moved, which were earlier stationed in the middle of the road. The police continue, and the Rangers, which is the paramilitary, they've been deployed in 2 fronts. First, right, you see in front of me, that's the Rangers, that's the first, that's the second block that is there, and then a little ahead, about 200 meters up ahead, is the first roadblock that has been put up by the Rangers that is there. Now, this, as PTI protesters continue to march on towards here where we are, which is the D-Chowk, and what you see behind that, that white smoke that you see, it's because of the shelling that is there. It's because of the shelling that has been done intensely, and it continues right now, even now. Now, PTI protesters are roughly about 10 kilometers or so from here, from the D-Chowk, and they vow that they will be getting here, they will be coming here at all costs. The reason we're seeing this mobilization of the police and Rangers, the Rangers continue to advance, and it looks like that this is going to be a standoff or a battle as and when the PTI protesters try to get nearer towards the D-Chowk. Anas Malik in Islamabad, Pakistan, for WION World is One.
Now, as we continue to get you the live coverage from Ground Zero, that's D-Chowk in the Pakistani capital city of Islamabad, we would like to confirm that the PTI convoy has entered Islamabad for the party's planned power show, and all these visuals you're seeing are from the convoy entering Islamabad and what's playing out as we speak across Islamabad. And to get us the latest, we are going across to our Pakistan Bureau Chief, Anas Malik. Anas, so much happening in and around Islamabad. What is the latest you're picking on?
Ananya, the protesters have reached D-Chowk. You can see it very clearly. The protesters are here, and the police have gone back. The containers, the protesters are right at the containers. You can see it very clearly. There's intense and immense use of shelling that is being done right now over here at the D-Chowk. And There are announcements being done from a nearby mosque saying that the right to protest is an absolute right, but nobody is allowed to do miscreant activity. The announcements are being done from nearby mosque. We can hear that very clearly. Gunshots were fired, tear gas are being, and in fact, I can see that. See, the rangers are there at the top of these containers, but at the same time, some protesters have actually managed to go past and towards the red zone. They're at the gates of the red zone, so the containers have not been able to defy them. That's what the situation is right now. The protesters are here at the Jinnah Avenue. We've been reporting from here for days now, and now that the protesters are marching, they're not in a greater number right now. There are a few hundred or maybe a bit thousand, closer to that, not more than that. But the protesters have indeed managed to come to the D-Chowk with the demand seeking the release of Imran Khan. Ananya?
Anas, and as you just confirmed to our viewers that the protesters, Imran Khan's supporters, have reached D-Chowk, which is where the ultimate destination was from the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa regions that we have been tracking closely. Now, I want to go back to a statement made by Imran Khan's wife, Bushra Bibi, earlier, and she had spoken directly to the supporters saying that once you reach D-Chowk, I will tell you the quote-unquote next strategy. What can we expect hereafter?
Nobody knows what is the plan right now. You can still hear the announcements being made from the mosque. Nobody knows what's the next plan of action. A short while back, there was immense and intense shelling and firing to the point that this entire area was white. Now it's slightly breathable. Before that, the reason we have to wear these masks, because if you're someone with weak lungs, it's increasingly difficult to breathe over here as well. That is the reason. So, what is the plan of action for now? Nobody knows. What happens from now, from here onwards? They've managed to get to D-Chowk. Bushra Bibi and Ali Amin's cavalcade is still a bit far, quite far rather. So once they get here, what will be their plan of action? That will only, we get to know that as in when Bushra Bibi and Ali Amin, the Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and wife of Imran Khan, their cavalcade reaches here at the D-Chowk. Ananya?
Right, Anas, also we know that there have been a host of issues and convictions against the former Prime Minister, that's Imran Khan, and the supporters are out on the streets protesting and demanding the release of Imran Khan. But one has to say that there has been immense criticism from within the government and elsewhere that this is of sorts taking the law in their hands. So talk to us a little about the reactions that have been coming against these protests.
Well, the reaction is very clear. The government has said that they would not be allowing them to get here to the D-Chowk, but despite of that, the protesters have actually managed to get here. That is number one. We've seen about 6 of the security personnel, they've lost their lives. That includes 4 paramilitary personnel as well. Now, what happens? What will be the government strategy? Yesterday, the Interior Minister, Mohsen Naqvi, made it abundantly clear that curfew is an option. Article 245 is an option. If they need be, they will also spray bullets, but of course they don't want to take that route. 245 was already imposed. The military has been called in beyond these containers for the red zone. So the military is not there on the roads right now. That being said, the protesters are now marching. Their numbers, if I ask my camera person to show you as well, the protesters, the numbers at the D-Chowk, at the main D-Chowk, you see at the container. In fact, the rangers are now nowhere to be seen anymore. The rangers are nowhere to be seen anymore. The protesters are on top of the containers. These 3-layered containers that are put in, that's at least 60 feet. And you can see the protesters there. They're throwing tear gas shells at the police. So, I mean, that gives you a sense of how well prepared these protesters are, and it is now a test for the government as to how they would want to counter this, because whatever their strategy was, starting from the entrance of Punjab up until here, it has very clearly failed. Ananya?
Absolutely, Anas, and you have been reporting here since yesterday from exactly this point, and I would like to remind our viewers, as you correctly pointed out as well, rangers were stationed right there at the containers, and now that the protesters have reached these containers, rather on top of the containers, the rangers are nowhere to be seen. All right, Anas, thank you so much for all those updates. We will keep coming back to you as and when developments happen. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.